and now training shifts? Because once you sign with bare knuckle, you have to adapt your training. How do you adapt your boxing training for bare knuckle? I see you
Oh
conditioning your
man,
knuckles a lot. Yours are definitely harder
yes.
than mine now at this point.
Oh yeah. See, and a lot of people misunderstand why I do it. When I fought Sheena Starr, I split her lip open because my skin had scabs on them.
Mm.
So I try to keep my skin really tough, and then when it's time to fight, I cut it so that that thickness turns into a sharp blade. And I didn't do that for Britain Hart because I was told not to, and I was like, well,
That's
maybe I
not a
should.
rule,
But
is it
then
though? Yeah.
no, it's not a rule. No,
Mm.
I think that my trainers were worried that I would get like that it would bleed, and so that I was told not to do it this time, and now I think with bare knuckle, if you've already fought, if you're, I mean, I've had 20 plus fights, including my amateur fights, all total. So I am no stranger of fighting and getting punched in the face and punching people in the face. So
Mhm.
I think it's something that you have to do. Half of it is your own instinct, because if you go in there with somebody else's game plan and they have never done bare knuckle, and maybe they have, there's things that I've been suggested to do that did not help me. It hurt me. There's things that both bare knuckle and MMA fighters, I don't know, you just have your own thing that you're good at, and you have to do those same movements over and over again to be successful, I believe. I don't think that it's very complicated as boxing or MMA. I think it's very, very simple, but it does not mean it's easy, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
it's yeah, it's something that you want to do all this extra movement, but you cannot do that extra movement. It'll cost you.
I so for the few events I've watched as well, I just noticed. Actually, the last event there was, I saw that there were all finishes, and that's the thing. I think once you get hit with a burn, it's the whole saying of like everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the mouth or in the face.
For
That
sure.
applies a lot more there, where it's like you can get cut open easily from any punch that lands can cut you open.
Yeah.
So the game planning, I feel like doesn't apply as much in a sense because once you get cracked properly, like that whole plan goes out the window. So maybe it's
Absolutely.
about like, hey, I need to land first. I need to
Yes.
apply my dominance early, quickly, immediately.
Absolutely.
And
You
yeah,
have to fight your fight. If you go in
yeah,
there with the plan, I'm going to do this hook cross, then I'm going to go this way. It's not, you got to already have it here, and you got
yeah,
to know to do it yourself. You don't really have much help from your corners other than telling you in between rounds, because during the fight, you're on your own. It's not like MMA.
yeah. No, did you ever see the Malinaji Loba fight? Because that's the first one I watched, just because like, oh, I knew Malinaji from because I a big boxing fan, and because he went and
No, I
implemented
didn't.
his he came in, he's a former world champion in boxing, like great, he never had like knockout power or anything, but he was very slick and he was like boom boom get his shots in. And then you have Artem Lobov, who didn't have a good MMA record, was doing well in BKFC, and he ended up winning. I
Yeah.
think a little bit of a
Yeah.
disputed decision, but in a way, like Lobov should never be able to beat Malinaji in boxing, but he did because
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
such a different sport. He was trying to box, and Lobov was fighting bare knuckle. So,
Yeah. And
and you
well,
have the
see
whole
that there's the
clinch.
thing is,
Yeah,
yeah, the clinch,
yeah.
exactly. The clinch, there's a lot of MMA elements that has been brought into bare knuckle that you cannot do in regular boxing. Another thing that people don't keep in mind is that the boxing glove size is like this, you know?
Oh, yeah, it's easier
Whereas
to land.
if I'm here and you got like a bare knuckle, it's going to hit me right
Oh,
here, you know?
that is interesting.
So
Yeah,
it's a smaller hand and it goes into these spaces a lot easier than boxing, and boxers are
yeah,
not used to that.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
I think that's why.
You can't really block the punches.
Mm-hmm.
And even if you block, I'm pretty sure like how does it feel in your hands if you're blocking it like that? If it lands in your
Yeah,
hand,
sometimes you'll hit
yeah.
an elbow with your hand. You could break your hand on
Oh
somebody's
yeah,
elbow from blocking, you know? So
yeah.
you got to be
That
very precise with where you punch.
could be a defensive strategy. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
Would you be interested in doing the Game Bread FC, like the bare knuckle MMA that's Masvidal's?
Yes.
I think that's like, I feel like that's your domain. Like there it is. Like yeah.
Yeah. That's where I want to be, because but I've already signed an obligation with BKFC to fulfill that. And honestly, if it wasn't for David Feldman, I wouldn't even have this Game Bread FC opportunity in my eyes because I wouldn't have cared about it. Like I'm so grateful for David Feldman. Like it's unreal. He's an excellent president. He's very personable with you. He's a really good do I say boss? I don't know if I should say boss because I work for myself, but
Yeah,
partner
he's not.
or whatever he is.
Yeah, not even a client. Yeah, it's yeah, you're a contractor essentially. Like,
I'm a contractor.
yeah.
There we go. Like he's like the army, and I'm like the guy that comes in and builds the roads.
Yeah. It's like we need an expert in this. Let's get him in. Yeah.